Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Dyca TV with me, Callum Craig.
And me, Meah.
It's Friday the 6th of September 2013 and week 4 of the second block of our academic year.
Coming up in today's show.
After this year's fantastic GCSE results, we'll be catching up with some of last year's Senior 3 students and finding out how they did.
We will be finding about the Jewish New Year festival, Rosh Hashanah.
In light of recent events in Egypt, we'll be taking a look at this amazing country and the current crisis that it finds itself in.
We'll be looking back on the Chapeltown West Indian Carnival.
And shooting hoops with the Leeds Tigers basketball team.
But first, our main story. August 22nd was GCSE results day and a big day for the Academy.
Many of last year's Senior 3 students returned to school to find out how they did, and we had some fantastic results. Let's take a look.
So Shamara, how do you think you've done?
As well as I thought I was going to do, so yeah, I'm happy.
Are there any highlights?
I passed Spanish. How did that happen?
What's the next step?
Notre Dame and hopefully Russell Group University. I think I've got good enough grades to still apply to Cambridge and Oxford anyway, so I'm hoping.
I think I've done really well actually. Got my C's, passed my diploma, so couldn't have done much, I think.
Fantastic. What do you think the highlights are of your grades?
I think I've done really well in my science since I did try quite hard on that and on my English, but I wouldn't have done it without teachers' help. So I think I could have done a bit better, but I'm happy.
What do you think you've done best in and why?
Maths, because I've gone from an F to a C.
With much of the focus on Syria in recent weeks, you'll be forgiven for paying less attention to what's been going on in Egypt. Egypt is in the middle of a crisis that could see the country to descend in a civil war.
This would be a tragedy, especially considering the importance of this ancient and amazing country. Let's find out more about Egypt and the problems it now faces.
You may well associate Egypt with the pharaohs, pyramids and hieroglyphics. Well, think again. There's a lot more to Egypt than its ancient past. Egypt is a transcontinental country. Most of it lies in North Africa, but also stretches into Asia to the north. Egypt is one of the most highly populated countries in Africa and 15th in the world with over 80 million inhabitants. Many of its people live in great cities like Cairo, the capital, and Alexandria. Nearly all the population live near the banks of the Nile, the longest river in the world, which stretches into a huge delta and makes Egypt able to be a massive producer of cotton, wheat, and other important crops. Egypt has one of the longest histories of any modern country. There have been people living there for over 12,000 years. Egypt is most famous for its ancient civilization, which was one of the most advanced of its time. The mind-blowing monuments like the Giza Pyramid and the Great Sphinx and the Valley of the Kings have drawn archaeologists and tourists alike to marvel at its wonders. Egypt is a very important country, both in the Middle East and in the world, and is in the top 25 most wealthy countries in the world. Between 1981 and 2011, Egypt was ruled by President Hosni Mubarak, who made Egypt an important ally for the West. However, in 2011, widespread protests began against Mubarak's government. On 11th of February, he resigned and fled Cairo. An election was held and Mohamed Morsi was elected president on 24th of June 2012. However, on the 22nd of November 2012, Morsi made a law that essentially said that his decisions could not be challenged, and this led to a massive uprising in the country. On the 30th of June this year, Morsi and his government were forced out of office in a coup d'etat, and an interim military government was put in power. Since then, there have been violent clashes around the country, and the future of Egypt now hangs in the balance. We can only hope that this proud and beautiful nation does not slip into a civil war.
I hope that the situation gets resolved in a peaceful way.
On September the 4th, Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, was celebrated by people across the globe. Rosh Hashanah is a 2-day celebration, and Jewish people celebrate by reflecting on the previous year, sounding a horn called a shofar, and eating apples dipped in honey. But why talk about Rosh Hashanah when you can rework the lyrics of a well-known summer hit, as these Israelis did?
It's the birthday of creation. Yeah. All ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning.
We've come so far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar, set our sights to the stars.
Rosh Hashanah back to day one. Some choose like everyone. Sound the shofar, we'll run. Set your goals and get clarity. God looks at everyone, wants us to overcome. Make it like a worthy one. Rosh Hashanah, time to get clarity.
Rosh Hashanah, time to get clarity. Rosh Hashanah, time to get clarity.
Rosh Hashanah, time to get clarity. Rosh Hashanah, time to get clarity.
We'd like to wish Shana Tova to all our Jewish friends. We hope you get clarity.
And now, the Leeds Tigers basketball team, which are based at DYCA. The Tigers have been training hard in preparation for some important games. We spoke to Claude, the coach, to find out how things are going.
Well, my role in the academy is accessing young people to playing sport as a tool which we can use to influence change of behavior. By playing basketball and giving them access to playing basketball, we are able to discuss other life skills they need to do in order to reach their fullest potential through their education. Cascading the benefits to our young people in the community, that's what we want to do here. Give young people a voice, give them pride so that they can walk with their shoulders high in their communities.
Good luck to the Tigers, and it's true what they say, work hard, play hard. As it was, Rosh Hashanah this week, we have a Jewish proverb for our thought of the week. It goes, a bird that you set free may be caught again, but a word that escapes your lips will not return.
This means that anything you say, good or bad, can never be taken back, so think carefully before you speak. You could hurt someone's feelings even if it wasn't intentional, but because it's left your lips and has been spoken, you can't take your words back.
That's so true. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, and sometimes I don't think about what I said until after I've said it. Well, I'll certainly make an effort to think before I speak in the future. Well, that's all from us in the studio. But before we go, if you were anywhere near Chapeltown last weekend, you will know that it was the annual West Indian Carnival.
The carnival is one of the most popular and famous carnivals in the UK, and every year it attracts thousands of people to the streets. It was founded in the 1960s and now is known to be the longest running authentic Caribbean carnival.
It's a colourful explosion of Caribbean culture, music, food and spectacular costumes.
Our correspondent was there to capture the event, so sit back and enjoy the spectacle.
Have a good weekend. Goodbye.
It's woman and boom say we jamming on all. Hey, this year I can't wait. 20,000 still by the gate. But before I reach in the dance, I want to know, not taking no chance. So check if your foot walking, your waist walking, your neck walking. Well, if it walking, girl, start to wind back on it, wind back on it, wind back on it. Tell her where you roll, drop on it, roll, drop on it, roll, drop on it. Tell her where you wind, 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 wind back. Hey, I want you to roll, 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 roll back. How will you face up the body, girl? Tell me now if I'm ready, girl. Give me jam, no. Some man like to hold back, some man not them brave. But when the girl rock back, don't tell me about pain. Hey, this year when it's space, come to fit, got no time to waste. I want to live for all of them, girl, them put them thing all up in the face. I tell you, your foot walking, your waist walking, your back walking. Well, if it walking, girl, start to wind back on it, wind back on it, wind back on it. I want you to roll, jump